And what's up, everybody? This is Terminator Juice doing another live video. If you guys haven't noticed, this is my preferred format. Pretty much the last 10 plus, I think. I used to pre-record and edit and upload, and it took me a couple hours, but I had the same backdrop. I was using the same camera, so there was really no benefit to me doing it that way because I'm a perfectionist and I would edit the hell out of these videos. I would reshoot the whole thing. So I just said screw it. Once I saw the live streaming, like Francis did one, and then he invited me to one, and ever since then it's definitely my preferred way to go. So I got a few things I want to talk about, and then I have an announcement for something I want to try to get going tomorrow night. So, but first of all, I got a few new subscribers. I've been getting subscribers here and there for a while now, and I've been thinking I wanted to improve my presentation as far as like on my YouTube channel on Google Plus. So if you noticed, if you're following me on Google Plus, I changed my icon in my background or cover image or whatever. But I have an idea for an icon that I really want to use, and I sent a private message to a very talented YouTuber, and hopefully we can work something out. But it got me thinking, what I wanted to do while thinking about my name, Terminator Juice. I haven't really talked about where that came from since maybe my second video. So I just wanted to go over that real quick, just give you guys a little bit understanding about the name. People seem to like the name Terminator Juice. Well, it came from about 1998. Friends and I, we were playing GoldenEye on the N64, and we played 6-7 hours a day. On the weekends we'd play 6-7 hours straight, eat something, play like 3-4 hours more. We were big time into it, and but one of my friends, he didn't have an N64 of his own, and he wasn't particularly good at the game, but he loved to play, and we'd pretty much, me and my buddy Tony would just beat up on this guy constantly. But we like to, have maybe 1 or 2 weapon choices, and we settled on Man with the Golden Gun mode, or whatever it was called, where it was one shot, you're dead, and we tried grenade launchers as the only weapon, and we just loved it because it was pretty much a one-shot kill anyway, but it just made it seem like you died even quicker. But the thing about that game was you'd shoot a grenade, I think it bounced once or twice before it exploded, and then as it exploded, it had pretty good fire and smoke effects for its time. It was amazing. But the game had a little glitch where if you were on the other side of a room, and it's supposed to be a thick concrete wall or whatever, you could be walking by, and if there was fire on the other side, you couldn't see it, but it would still kill you, and at least hurt you. And every once in a while, you'd survive a blast, even though you shouldn't have. But anyway, my friend, his name was Tim, not anyone I'm associated with now, but I haven't talked to this guy in a long time. But he was just constantly, why the hell am I dying? He's just crying, getting mad. And my other buddy, Tony, just out of the blue, he just said, the dude's like, what killed me? And he's like, that was the Terminator Juice. And we laughed so hard about that. We're 17-year-old, maybe 18. We laughed so hard. It was late at night, and we just couldn't stop laughing. And then we started doing everything Terminator, and we started doing Arnold impressions, and it was something we kept doing for 6 months at least. And when we'd get in groups with other people, they'd look at us funny because we had this kind of inside joke. So yeah, years later, I got on my 360, and I couldn't think of a name, so I just let it pick one. It was stupid. And then I had that memory of GoldenEye. I hadn't thought about it in years, and I remembered Terminator Juice, and I had a good chuckle. So I made my gamer tag. I paid like $10 on Xbox, which is stupid now, but I wanted that name, and it was available. And ever since then, I changed my YouTube name from DreamCube09 to Terminator Juice, and now anytime I register, do anything, that's kind of my name. And you know, so it was the grenade launchers, it was the fire, the explosion, and that was the juice, you know. And so I kind of want some kind of icon to represent that. So anyway, long story, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. So hopefully I can work something out with the person. I'll give them credit if, you know, we're for sure going to do it, and see what happens. Definitely give him credit for it, because I have an idea in my head. I don't have the technical know-how on a computer to create. I could maybe draw something up, but I want it done, you know, on a computer and be fairly well, you know, made. So anyway, that's that. And you know, I wanted to talk about a few other things. I also want to mention my Monday weekly show I just called it MK Mondays. I'm going to change the name. It's going to just be The Juice is Loose, the same name as my tournament on Mario Kart 8, and keep similar format. But you know, my friend Derek Steele Fox, he's been joining me. We're going to continue to have him on, and have other guests. And basically what we're going to do is kind of structure it a little bit more. Always start with the tournament results, and you know, discuss you know, the tournament. That way, if somebody comes on that race in the tournament, we can kind of have a discussion, because there was some pretty intense stuff happened in the last tournament. And you know, I just want to say I had a blast, and we'll talk about that on Monday. But you know, go over that and then kind of talk about a topic. So I'll try to relate the topic in the title. You know, like this week, Derek came up with a great point about Splatoon. So we're going to talk about Splatoon. I'll find some way to incorporate in the title. So it's going to be The Juice is Loose, episode 4 or 5, whatever I'm on. And then we're going to talk about Splatoon and other gaming news, and maybe even throw in a little, you know, weekly, I don't know what to call them, segments or something that we'll always try to get back to. So yeah, just look forward to that. I thought the Mario Kart Mondays, it's just something I popped in my head. I didn't know I was going to do. Keep doing it. So I think The Juice is Loose is a way better name. It's automatically associated with the tournament. So that's going to be happening this Monday. And yeah, if somebody racing the tournament, you wanna have a voice, I'm going to try to announce the video, or you know, create the event on Google Plus a couple days, either Saturday night or Sunday morning, so people can see. If you see it's a topic you want to talk about, just let me know. Say, hey, you know, mind if I join? Don't do it on YouTube if you're watching this. Leave it on Google Plus on the event. Put it in the comments there. I don't always check. I can't actually even get to the YouTube part of it until the video uploads on my channel, and then I can see, oh wait, there's comments that I never see. So yeah, Google Plus is the place to go for that. And another thing I want to talk about is just how much I enjoy the discussion with everyone I've had a discussion with on air. The questions I get from Mario Walker, for example, always appreciate that. I just really enjoy talking about video games, and I enjoy doing this. If you haven't noticed, I don't like call out other YouTubers or call out other people, and I don't make videos that are basically drama bullshit, calling out other systems or doing fanboy type stuff. But I am a Nintendo fanboy. I love Nintendo, but I am open to the other systems, and I just really enjoy this. So I just appreciate you guys for watching, and you know, leaving questions, joining in. And I see I got a few questions from Mario Walker, man. Dude, I can't always answer all of them, especially with Derek Steele Fox. Some of them just aren't appropriate for what we're talking about. You know, I don't want to get too crazy off topics, you know, in those videos. But appreciate the questions, and if you're willing, I don't know. You said something about joining in. I don't know if you meant to go on air. If that's what you meant, I guess clarify. We can have you on Monday if you want to talk about Splatoon, and try to get in the tournament, because that gives a little bit more to talk about in the beginning. The first 5-10 minutes, we talk about the tournament. So if you can try to get in that, that'd be cool. Um, so anyway, that's pretty much that stuff. And then I wanted to announce what I want to do for tomorrow. And on Mario Kart 8, I have my tournament. It's on Wednesday nights. It was Thursdays. Me and Derek were texting the whole time. We're like, oh, that was bullshit, or hey, you were glitchy. I swore I finished ahead of you, and then we're just having an exchange back and forth. And that's why I think voice chat would really help that game. But what I want to do is I'm thinking tomorrow, which would be Saturday, July 12th, 2014. Time's open to change, but I'm thinking 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Do a friends lobby, and I want to see people respond and tell me they'll be there. I'm not just going to leave it open to people to join like the tournament. I want at least 3 or 4 people plus me, so 4 or 5 racers at the minimum to make this happen. And we'll do a friends lobby so that we can talk in between, and then you can actually, if I create the room, then I can choose when to start. So we could talk for 5 minutes beforehand, and we can say, hey, well, let's try racing without the CPU, or let's try battle mode or something. Let's see what difference it makes having the voice chat. And that's kind of the test I want to do. Social experiment, like Derek said. If we can get 12 people, we'll see how it handles all the people talking. It might be too much or chaotic, but that's my plan. I'm hoping people are watching this right now. It's Friday afternoon. If you're watching this later on the replay on YouTube, July 12th, 9 p.m. Let me know if you're interested. What I'll do is I'll go in around that time. I'll create a room. I'm not sure the options that are available, and then you guys just join me, and we'll go in the lobby and we'll discuss stuff before. We'll wait for other people. If we get 4 or 5, we're gonna start and see what happens. So if I don't get any responses, I'm not gonna do it. But if get a couple, 3, 4 people plus, we'll do it. And I think it'll be cool to see what voice chat adds to that game, and we'll find out if it would really improve the experience. I mean, you can't set it up like a tournament. I believe you can just do like a GP, pick a cup, or 4 races, and it totals and picks a winner. So I think that'll be cool, and I hope we can get some participation. The tournament last week I had 11 or 12. That's perfect. It'd be nice to have 24, but as soon as you get over 12, then you got a couple people racing the CPU. So, anywhere between 5 and 12, I think would be great. Let's see what happens, and then and if it really improves the experience with voice chat, and then hopefully somehow have a voice to say to Nintendo, hey, add voice chat to the tournaments or something. Hopefully they're working on that. So yeah, that's pretty much the announcement. And my the name change to the Juice is Loose. And one other thing I just noticed, VG Charts updated the console sales to, I think, as of July 5th, and the Wii U still holding strong at about 62,000, I believe, for the week. Xbox One was at 63,000. PS4 was at like 98 or 97,000, and the 3DS was over 100,000. That's good. That's a very good sign, because the Wii U, they put it as 50 last week, but I guess they corrected it to 60. So for the last 3 weeks, it's been above 60. We had that big surge with Mario Kart 8 to like 180,000 for the week, or whatever it was, 120. But you had Mario Kart 8 come out, had huge numbers. The Luigi Death Stare blew up everywhere. People actually bought the system because of the Luigi Death Stare. And then Nintendo had an amazing E3 and showed off some great games. We got Splatoon's got a lot of people excited. Zelda, Bayonetta announced with Bayonetta 2 was great. Hyrule Warriors, they're doing what they did with Mario Kart 3D World. They're leaking out information, showing you more and more, building up your hype the proper way. The game looks better every time. They show awesome new characters. They showed like a Skyward Sword environment, and Fi, whatever, is a playable character. And I'm just like, that game's a day one purchase. All boom, just like that. You got all the naysayers or all the haters saying, "Oh, you guys didn't care about Dynasty Warriors games before. Now it's because it's got a Zelda skin. You're all excited, you know, because you're starved for games and this and that." Well, if you looked at everything they've shown and you still think that's just a Zelda skin, just some Dynasty Warriors game with Zelda outfits, you're sadly mistaken. There's a lot of effort put into having move sets and items from the Zelda universe, a nice variety of characters, a really cool selection of characters to choose from. Yeah, the combat may still be similar, but there's a lot of combos and each character is very different. And I'm sorry, but the Zelda, making it in the Zelda universe makes a huge difference because I care about what they're going to do with the story and I care about those characters already. Makes a huge difference. So to say it's just a reskin and why you Nintendo fags excited about that is just ridiculous. It just shows you're jealous or you just don't understand what this game does. You know, and it wasn't a day one purchase when they first showed it. Like I said, they're building this up the proper way. They're not showing me some ridiculous like PC build, some target rendered bullshit. They showed you the game when it was where it was at, and now you're not a year later, but 6, 7 months later, they're showing where it's at now, and it's way better. It looks better visually, and then just with all the characters they got, it looks awesome. So I'm excited for that game. You got IGN, that poll that Nintendo won everything across the board of the 3 choices, you know, best reveal, best presentation, and best overall E3. People were very butthurt about that. There's people still in denial saying that, you know, why you guys, why are you excited about, you know, a digital event? You know, there's still people trying to downplay or say that it's negative they didn't have a press conference. You got people saying, well, just because there's a bunch of IGN or Nintendo fans on IGN, that's why you won the poll. They don't see it for what it is. Last year, if there was an option, I didn't know Nintendo was at E3, and it might even been an option on IGN's poll, that would have won. People were saying that Nintendo wasn't even at E3 last year in 2013 to now they win a poll. I mean, handily they were voted. That's a huge important thing because it went from people were saying they weren't at E3 to now people are saying they won E3, and that's a huge difference. And you know, it was only 200,000 people that voted, but how many people reported on it? How many people talked about it? How many forums were there about it? It's only positive news, and positive news makes people feel good about going out and buying the system. You know, they want Mario Kart 8, they want Smash, but now there's positive news. Nintendo had a great E3. It only adds to the momentum, and it's only a good thing. So I'm just excited finally to see the Wii U doing what I think it should have done from the beginning, but Nintendo just didn't market it right. There was third-party game delays, really screwed it over. I've said this before, I'll say it again. If Nintendo, it was their fault for not going to Ubisoft early enough and making sure Far Cry 3 was on the Wii U in December when it came out. Excuse me, not making sure that BioShock Infinite made it to the Wii U same time as the PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. Tomb Raider, Crysis 3. If all those games had come out when they should have, the day and date with the other systems for the Wii U in that first 6 months, I mean, the system would be just going gangbusters. I would guess it would be over 12 million right now, maybe 14. If it had those games early on and people knew that they could buy that system and play all the third parties plus Nintendo, it just would have been. We wouldn't be in this situation. We wouldn't be questioning if Call of Duty was coming to the Wii U or Destiny. They would be because the precedent would have been set early. But it's too bad. That's the past. You can't change it. But just things now compared to this time last year, the weekly sales were like, I want to say 20,000 worldwide weekly. Now they're 60. That's a difference of 300%. And this isn't even. There's nothing out right now. We got Hyrule Warriors coming out at, I think, September, and then Bayonetta in October. So there's a couple months here where there's not going to be any huge titles. You know, we had Shovel Knight, you know, it's PC as well, and 3DS. It got good reviews. You got some other interesting third-party games coming out, and I'm just very excited. I think it's awesome, and you know, any Wii U owners watching this, you know, it's just a good time. It's a good feeling, especially if you owned it from launch like I did, compared to last year. Looking at those weekly numbers, and it looked hopeless. So I'm very excited for that, and it's just a good sign of things to come. You know when Pyro Warriors, Bayonetta, and then you got you know, Smash in November probably. It's going to be huge. Yeah, it'd be nice if we knew for sure we're getting Call of Duty just to kind of fill in that, or if Destiny was coming. You know, Watch Dogs probably still coming. It would be even better, but I'm looking forward to the end of this year, and then you got games in 2015 look very promising, like X, Splatoon. If Zelda makes it out in 2015, it's just awesome. So I'm just excited, and you know, I'm not all about sales and stuff. It doesn't affect me enjoying the games I buy and the system I own, but it's nice to see some positive things, and I'm excited. So with that, I got some questions over here, and I'm going to try to get to as many that I can. This one's pretty relevant to what I was just talking about a little bit ago. New World Order for life. What do you need to use Wii U voice chat? Will any headset work? Actually, I never plugged in a headset. The gamepad mic worked perfect. Me and Derek Steelfox did it. I was playing with the Pro controller, and I had the gamepad sitting on my armrest, and I talked. He heard me fine, and then his voice comes through my speakers on my TV. I don't think it comes through the gamepad speakers, unless maybe you're off TV Play with it. But you can try it. That's going to be part of the experiment. Try plugging in some of these, because these work fine. These got a little mic. These are some earbuds from my iPod. Anything that has a mic built in, if you plug it in, it should work, but we'll find out tomorrow. That just, you can say, hey, I'm going to try plugging it in. If we don't hear you, we'll tell you. So it's a good question, because I tested it. Me and Derek did a one-on-one just to test it and see how it worked, and it actually worked pretty well. Let's see here. Andrew, aka Blue Dog 5454, could you answer why I was so bad at the tournament? LOL. Dude, you're sucking it up, man. I don't know. You used to be like the guy I compared myself to, because we always finished. It seemed like pretty close to one another. I don't want to talk about all the results and all that. I just want to say, do time trials. That's what I've been doing. I've been going back over all the time trials. I picked my favorite courses to start. Rainbow Road was the first one, and I set a pretty good time, and I put a challenge out, and I got killed by ASAP _Rel. I'm not sure if that's how you want me to say your name, ASAP Rel, or REL. He crushed my time. I can't even beat my best time again, so I moved on to other tracks, but I found it improved my cornering ability, especially on Rainbow Road. I was jumping too, let's see, on the sport bike I was jumping too early, and on the carts I was jumping a little too late. So I figured that out. I've done other tracks that gave me some trouble, and I had some good times, like Click Clock. What is that? Clock Tower? I forget the exact name, but the Clock Tower one. One track I really need to work on is DK Jungle. I'm struggling on that, but that's what I do, and it's actually fun. You see one of your friends on there, you know you can beat your time. I think, Andrew, what'd you have me beat on? Forget which track. I was going to try to beat your time, but my buddy came over. It was the Sherbert Land, or it was the N64, the snow level. I was going to try to beat your time, but my buddy came over and I got interrupted. So that's what I do. I just, I think that helped me, or I just got lucky. I don't know. So I don't know, but practice. Mario Walker, do you prefer big controllers like the Wii U gamepad or small controllers like the DualShock 3? Great question, because I love talking about how much I hate the DualShock 3. Worst controller in the history of video gaming, hands down for me. Maybe the Genesis, the original one with the 3 buttons and that shitty D-pad. Maybe that one's worse. DualShock 3 is right there. Terrible. A little too small. If it, let me go grab it real quick. Hold on. These things, they don't extend out enough. They're too shallow in my hand. I hate the analog sticks. They're too soft. There's no resistance. They move too far. They're sloppy, and they're too damn close together. Your freaking thumbs hit. It's just the dumbest controller ever. The D-pad's nice. The triggers suck. I mean, they suck. So I hate this controller. The size isn't terrible, but the stick placement and whatever you call these things, if those are a little bit longer, and they're just kind of flat. They're like flat this way, and it needs to be thicker. So hate that controller. The gamepad, hurts me to say this, that controller is not comfortable. The nubs on the back are too shallow. If I had some meat there, I could play with that all day. I actually, when I do off TV play on Mario Kart 8, my fingers actually go a little numb. So Pro Controller, Wii U Pro Controller is the most comfortable controller I've ever held. If it had better analog, the sticks don't have enough travel, and it doesn't have analog triggers. That's the only marks I take away for it. The PS4 controller is very comfortable, and the Xbox One is, I've only held it for about 10 minutes, but that might be even more comfortable than the Wii U Pro controller. I like the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. It's fine, and the GameCube controller was good. It was a little small. I didn't like the long travel of the triggers. But yeah, I prefer a little bit bigger controller, not quite original Xbox Day One controller. That thing was huge. It was like holding a big ham. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I like bigger controllers, but not the gamepad. It doesn't have enough. My fingers don't know what to do. If they could curl around something, it'd be a lot better. Blue Dog, I never see my friends on the time trials. Where do you see them at? Also, I beat all the time trials, but I not practiced any shortcuts as well as I could have. Alright, that's, if you watch my 8 fixes for Mario Kart 8 video, I said there's no like option to have all your friends' times on times trials. If you're just lucky enough that a friend's close enough to your time, it'll show it. But like ASAP Rel beat my time on Rainbow Road. He posted on Miiverse, but I went to the actual track and it didn't have that time anywhere for me to race against. So that needs to be fixed. But on that Sherbertland one, it did show your time, and I have them all beat. I beat all the ghosts, but what I do is now I set a goal to beat my time first, because I only did a lot of those once. So I want to beat them. Now I'm a better racer. I can usually shave 3, 5, 6 seconds off my best time, and then once you do that, go to change course. Well, you have to upload your ghost data, and then you go to change course, you go back to that course, and then you'll see a new list of times, so people that are close to that time, and then it has like the top 10 times, and then it has like the 10 closest to yours, or it might not be 10, but something like that. So that's what I do, and every once in a while I see friends on there. But there should be an option to just highlight, just click over friends and see all your friends' times. That needs to happen. That would be huge. Then you could just pick your friend's best time, you know, a friend with the best time, and you could race against it, or I could challenge you specifically, even if you didn't have the fastest time. So I don't practice too many shortcuts, but with the 3 mushrooms, I try not to use it on the first lap, but on the second lap I usually use 2 and then 1 on the third. But it just really helped me, so I don't know, it might not work for you, but for me it just really seemed to help me. And ASAP Rel. ASAP, can I say Rel or Ariel? Let me know. What's your thoughts on Devil's Third and their online multiplayer? Looks freaking amazing. Looks original. Looks unique. Looks awesome. I think I've said this before. Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox, the original Xbox, is my favorite action game of all time. I love that game, and the guy who made that is making Devil's Third, and the online multiplayer looks awesome. I love the inclusion of the melee stuff plus a first-person shooter. Hopefully they balance that out so the melee's fun and people don't just camp back. But it looks crazy, zany. I mean, the customization, just the ridiculously weird game modes. I love it, and can't wait to play it. Hopefully it be out, first half 2015. But if we got Splatoon in first half 2015, maybe Devil's Third could be later in 2015. But I think it looks awesome. I wish there could be a little bit more shown about it. They showed a couple trailers, but I'd love to see some actual live gameplay of online. Be awesome if they did a beta too. I don't know if they will, but that'd be cool. Mario Walker asked a question from way back. Was Nintendo censoring Mortal Kombat the reason they've been labeled kiddie? I don't think so, because the next Mortal Kombat game came out with blood. That was the creation of the rating system, if you remember back that far. I don't know how old you are, but that game sparked enough controversy. We got the rating system. Was a little bit rough in the beginning. Like, the rating system was a little different. Now it's a little bit more finalized and consistent. I think the biggest blow to Nintendo image was the purple GameCube with the handle. That's when a lot of people jumped off board, because the N64 had, 30+ million. Everyone I knew had one in GoldenEye, so I don't think it was considered kiddie when everyone was playing multiplayer deathmatch. But for me personally, I think it was the GameCube, the color and the handle on the GameCube that really killed that and made it seem kiddie. But anyone that thinks Nintendo games are kiddie doesn't play them because they'll know, and B, they're just stupid because Nintendo makes games for everyone. So if you're 5, it's okay. If you're 55, it's okay. So anyone that says Nintendo's kiddies, just automatically consider them an ignorant person. But yeah, the image really started to go. People used to really say that when the Xbox came out and the PS2 and Nintendo had a little purple console. So I think that was the start of the kiddie stuff, big time. ASAP. Have you tried the Nerf case for the Wii U gamepad? It makes it feel a little bit more meatier in your hand. No, I have not. I think I've seen somebody use that. I don't like how it's like thicker on the buttons, if I recall, on the top. And you feel like you have to press the buttons down. I played a 3DS XL with the Nerf case, and that one left the buttons normal, so I have to relook at it, but that's a good idea. I was actually thinking of trying to mold something and sticking it to the bottom. So someone could make that a product, might be able to make some money. So yeah, I'll look into that, because it definitely I like the analog sticks better on the gamepad than the Pro Controller, but I like the Pro Controller overall, more comfortable, and the battery life's amazing. Mario Walker, do you think Nintendo brings out your inner child? I think video gaming in general just makes me feel youthful. Let me try to think here. When I played like 3D World for the first time at my house, once I got it, downloaded it, it was just joy, just bliss. You just feel happiness. And then Tropical Freeze, when I saw how good that game looked on my new TV, I just felt like, wow. I felt like I was back on the Super Nintendo. Same thing with New Super Mario Bros. U. It made me feel like I was playing on my Super Nintendo again. It had Yoshi. It had just some amazing level design, and it was the best 2D platformer or Mario platformer of all time, I think. 3D World's right there, but not 3D World, Super Mario World. But I love the new mechanics, the butt stomp and the sliding and wall jumping. I love that. And so yeah, it does make me feel like my inner child comes out. I just love playing games. I love talking about them. And in my life, I'm the youngest in my family, so I'm the only one into video games. And my brother and my sisters, they just kind of think I'm silly because I like playing video games. I like talking about it, doing YouTube videos instead of going out on speedboats and stuff and being out in the sun. I do like to be outside. I have my motorcycle and stuff, but I like this. This is my #1 passion, this and music. So Good question. I can just say Rel or Ariel. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to say Rel until you correct me. If that's right, you don't have to correct me. So Blue Dog just said thanks for the tip. Also, pro tip: split screen makes the ink cover the whole screen. And yeah, it covers the center so you can see. I've noticed that. I was playing with Fatty, who's my cousin, for the tournament, who made me look good in comparison. Yeah, I noticed when I played split screen, the ink hits in the center, so you can still see just about everything, except right before the tournament, actually, my buddy came over, who's a huge Mario Kart fan, but he's been holding off on getting the Wii U. He works a lot, and he's got a kid, and a newborn, well, 6 months old now, and I've been trying to get him to buy the game. His first time he's seen it and came over was at Wednesday night, right before the tournament, about 40 minutes, and we played split screen, and he never played those tracks, and I noticed it cuts off. You don't see the corners coming, so you just have to know, and I knew the corners were there, so I was doing good, but it does affect a newcomer when they can't see which corner's coming, because your screen's just like, cut in half, so it's not widescreen. You don't see the corners coming, so yeah, but I did notice the ink didn't block your view very good. You said the Nerf case is actually pretty comfortable. Does it cover the button? Is it on top? Does it make the buttons feel recessed at all? I'll look into it, but if you can answer that. Mario Walker, why people said the GameCube was a failure. While it didn't sell all that well, it did better than a lot of consoles such as Sega Saturn, Dreamcast, Master System, 3DO, Atari, Jaguar, and those consoles did abysmal compared to the GameCube. Yeah, I mean, compared to a lot of those bums, but when you compare it to its competition, the PlayStation 2, 150 million plus sold. The Xbox came out of nowhere, did like 24. It was a disappointment. Nintendo did all right. Some of their games sold, I think some of their games sold close to 10 million each, even on a system only 20 million install base. They had a pretty successful, money-wise, it had some of the best games. Metroid Prime is one of my all-time favorite games. I think it's one of the best games ever made. And then we got the F-Zero GX, which was pretty solid. Wind Waker, which going back now compared to HD version, it kind of sucks, but at the time it was good. I thought Super Mario Sunshine was a bit disappointing, but yeah, I mean, if you look at it compared to those systems, yeah, it did pretty good, but compared to the PS2, it's almost embarrassing. But I loved it. I liked it, but I plugged it in right before the Wind Waker HD came out, and I played some of my games, and they don't hold up as well as I remember. They have inverted controls, so you press down to look up, and there's no option to turn it off on the games. So, for me, I thought it was a good system, and I enjoyed it. I had some great games, but it wasn't a very successful as far as the general gamers looked down on it. PlayStation 2 was definitely the big one, and then the Xbox took a lot of Nintendo fans, I think, because the PlayStation 2 did better than PlayStation 1. I think the Xbox basically took the extra maybe 10 million away from what the GameCube would have done. Maybe the GameCube would have done 40 million if there was only two. We don't know, but I think it wasn't a failure, but it definitely was pretty sad. And the Wii U is actually worse at this point than the GameCube and the Dreamcast, so that tells you something. Even though you didn't like the PS1, did I think the boot up was sick? I don't remember the boot up. I only played the PlayStation a few times. My friend had it, and I mean, some of the 3D games it tried to do, because that system was designed for 32-bit graphics. It was thinking 2D, and then the N64 was doing 3D, so they made the PlayStation 1 try to do 3D, and it just had some of the worst visuals and bad frame rates and bad controls. I didn't like the controller that much, so I don't remember the boot up, though, to tell you the truth. And Rel asked me, have you thought about picking up Tamagotchi Life? Game is pretty addicting and hilarious. after seeing your posts, I considered it, but I guess you gotta know or kind of my feelings on those type of games. I don't like games that make you do or you have to do things like in real life. I already have enough crap I don't like to do in real life. I don't want to have to simulate those in games. But that one looks unique and funny, and it might be interesting. But I tried like Nintendogs, where you turn it on every day and see, how your dog's doing. And then my girlfriend had Animal Crossing on the DS, and I played it, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't need to be picking up weeds in a video game. I got to do that in real life. So, no offense, just not my cup of tea. Just like with role-playing games, and so yeah, it does look unique, and maybe consider it. But yeah, I don't like to. It would give me a reason to turn on my 3DS. I haven't turned it on probably in over a month. The last game I bought was Luigi's Mansion. I think I bought that in February or January, and I only beat the first mansion, opened up the next one, and never played it past that. So I'm kind of the exception to the rule. I'm not huge into the 3DS. I mean, it's got a couple good games that I've played. Like I said, I'm not big into RPGs, so my 3DS is kind of collecting dust, and maybe a game like that would give me a reason to play the 3DS more. But it's just the Miiverse is so slow on there. They put such a pathetic camera on it that they did a few things I wish they would have just said, okay, let's go a little bit, let's spend a little bit more money, lose a little bit on it, and let's have a few a little bit nicer features. But the games, like Link Between Worlds, one of my best top 5 games of 2013. I think it was number 4. So I do like some of the games, but yeah, that was kind of a long answer. And Blue Dog said that the Nerf gamepad, damn, I can't speak now. The gamepad cover doesn't cover the buttons, so I'll definitely look into that because I'd like to be a little bit more comfortable while I held it. So Mario Walker, what color 64 you own? I had the original, bought it, pre-ordered it, got it at launch. I think there was only the gray at the time. Other colors came out later, but I had the original. I still have the box, and I still have it in the box. My controllers were still in pretty decent shape. I bought a black and a yellow controller to go with the gray, and yeah, it was a great system. I actually bought a 32-inch tube TV at the time just for that system because I wanted to play split screen and be able to see. So I did enjoy the N64. Blue Dog, did I pick up Pokemon X and Y? I've never played a Pokemon game in my life, not even for a second, so I don't know if I'll like it or not, but I know they take a lot of time, and I try to just avoid games that I know will take a lot of time, like Monster Hunter. Twilight Bites almost had me convinced to get it, but I can't dedicate that much time. I have my own house. I work for at least 40 to 50 hours every week. I do all the chores. I'm single person household, so I have to do all the chores, all the cooking, yard maintenance, all that stuff. So I really don't have time to sink into some of these games I know that take a lot of time. So my most played game on the Wii U is Mario Kart 8, and I got 71 hours, and that's, I mean, it's only been a month and a half, but that's definitely, for me, that's a lot. I know Zen Gamer, I think he said he had 300 hours. I don't even know how that's possible. It's like 1 out of every 4 hours he's playing Mario Kart 8, I believe Derek Steelfox calculated or something. Download and play Shovel Knight. It's amazing. I already have it. So, also, I plan on doing a review for it later this week. You want to check it out? That's New World Order for Life. I definitely check out the review. I talked about this with Derek Steelfox on my last video. It was supposed to be mostly about talking about retro games, as there are too many, and we got off topic and barely talked about it. But I bought Shovel Knight the day no, on Sunday. I think it came out on Thursday. I had $10 in my eShop for buying Mario Kart 8 digitally. I don't know if you guys know this, but um, that bonus game you get with Mario Kart 8, if you're part of the Digital Deluxe program, if you have a Deluxe Wii U, excuse me, you get 400 points for that free game towards the Digital Deluxe. And I got $5, well, 600 points for Mario Kart 8, and 400 points for the free game. That was $10. So I had $10 sitting there, and I downloaded Shovel Knight. It cost me $6 something after tax, and I think I've beaten 7 or 8 levels. I enjoy it. I think it has solid controls. But like I said with Derek Steelfox in that last video, the 8-bit music gets me. I'm a big audiophile. I have three surround setups in my house. I have one on my computer, I have a 7.1 in my theater room, and I have a 5.1 in my living room. So I'm all about audio. I love audio. I wish Mario Kart 8 was a little less compressed, because I think the audio at times you can tell it's compressed. But that 8-bit audio of Shovel Knight just kills me, and I turn my system way down. I actually play it off TV most of the time. But it's a solid game. Some great controls, level design, and it's a good challenge. So I'll definitely watch your review if you post it. I don't think do you have a YouTube? I know I'm following you and we're friends on Google Plus, and I seen that you did an anime video, which I'm not into anime, so I didn't check it out, but I'll definitely check out a Shovel Knight review. And I also gotta say, I'm not a huge retro gaming person. Like I said, I turned my GameCube on, and then a half hour later, I unplugged it and unhooked it because I was kind of bored. I'm all about, just like with TV shows, I like to experience things for the first time. Sometimes I like to go back, but most of the time I just keep moving forward. And I have a lot of virtual console games because I bought the Wii U. I got all those 30-cent games like Super Metroid, Punch Out, Donkey Kong, the original Yoshi, like it was like a Tetris style game or something. And I play them and for a little bit, and I'm just not huge into retro gaming, so but I do think it's a good game. Alright. Mario Walker, why Atari had to stop making consoles? Because it's a long story. I'm not going to go all into it, but they did kind of do what Sega did. Well, they did at first. They had a lot of different variations of consoles, and they didn't have much improvement. Like the 2600 was a slight improvement over the original or whatever, and there was just too many options. And then they just let games come out that were crap. Like everyone knows the story of the E.T. game. They gave some company 2 months to make a game based on E.T., which was a huge movie. They thought if they got it out quicker, instead of making a good game, they thought if they got out quicker they'd make money, and that was a big part of the downfall of Atari. But overall, they didn't put out like super improvements with their next. Each time they had a system, it was not that much different. So it wasn't like like now you get a pretty good jump in visuals and performance with the new systems, and they didn't really do that. So but I haven't done enough research. Like I was alive during the time, but I haven't really thought about it in a while, so there might be other reasons. But anyway, we'll keep plugging along. Blue Dog, I understand, but if you ever were going to play a Pokemon game, X and Y would be the one to start. I finished mine in about 25 hours, but with all the other stuff you can do, you're up to 100 hours. Yeah, I understand you don't have to play them that long, but from what I understand, it's kind of a turn-based fighting system. I did try one with Child of Light. I tried that, and it's just, I might like it if I tried it, but like I said, there's a lot of other games I haven't played that I really want to, so it's probably not something I'm going to get into. And Saprel asks, what new Smash character do you think Nintendo will show on Monday? That's a good question. I was actually thinking about that. Saw that. Because it's such a weird, just a random Monday, I think they're going to reveal a character that's coming back, a returning character. I don't think it's going to be a brand new one, but also if they're going to announce they're going to do a reveal, maybe it is going to be a big one, because it would seem kind of weird to make an announcement that they're going to make an announcement. Usually they just throw one in there and boom, here's a new character reveal, and it's they made an announcement about it, so we know that they're going to announce one. So maybe that means it's going to be a big deal. Let me think. I don't think it'll be a third party. Like, some people are saying they want to see Bayonetta. I'd like to see Bayonetta, but I think the game Bayonetta has to prove itself first on the Wii U before that character gets revealed. But maybe having that character announced now would even help the sales of Bayonetta. That would be pretty cool. She's got fighting combo moves already. What was the other one I was thinking about? The Wonder Red, but I don't think Wonderful 101. I don't think it earned its way into Smash. It's really hard to say. I mean, if it's a new character, I think it's going to be a big deal because they made an announcement about it. If it was a returning character, I think they would have just had a video and it would have been announced. So I'm torn. Thinking before I move on, but yeah, I think I'm not going to guess Bayonetta, but something in that vein, maybe. But like I said, if they have her in there and announce, that might help the sales of Bayonetta 2 for the Wii U. So other than that, I'm in the dark just like everybody else. Mario Walker, even though you're not an RPG guy, what about Paper Mario? Are you talking about, was that on the Super Nintendo? I believe that was a Super Nintendo game. My friend played it, and I enjoyed watching him play, but I never really sat down and played much. Just the turn-based stuff just never worked for me. That's why I love Zelda so much. I like moving around and actually avoiding things and fighting and controlling the character. So, but yeah, Paper Mario was a pretty solid game. I enjoyed watching it. Yeah, Rel, that's a good point. Shulk from Xenoblade is the rumor. The voice actor for Shulk, I don't know if it's the American or Japanese, whoever, the voice actor said he's working on doing something for 2014, but he couldn't say. So yeah, that one's pretty good. That was the one I was trying to think of. That's definitely likely. Mario Walker, what turned you off from the PlayStation during the PS1 and PS2 days? I think that was the best time to be a PlayStation fan, since it was competing directly at Nintendo on the third platform, and their 3D platforms were actually good, like Crash, Spyro, and Ape Escape. What I didn't like about the PlayStation 1, which I already kind of covered, was the ridiculous load times. The controller I didn't think was amazing. And the games were doing 3D, but they just looked so bad. Like, you couldn't tell what was going on. My buddy had a off-road racing game. I think I mentioned this with Steel Fox. We were talking about this. He doesn't want to see retro games that look like PlayStation 1 games because it just looks so bad. I thought Crash Bandicoot was an average game. Played it. Their commercials really turned me off, what they tried to do. Against Mario, I love Mario, and Mario 64 was just so amazing. GoldenEye was just so amazing. Star Fox 64, Wave Race 64. There was no reason, and not like I was loaded. I was 17, 18. I didn't really have money to buy another system, but what I did play of it wasn't impressed. PlayStation 2. It's going to sound kind of nitpicky, but I really hated how it looked. I thought it looked terrible, like stacked books or something. Even standing up, it looked a little better. Still wasn't a fan of the controller. Same thing as DualShock 3. DualShock 2 wasn't much different, except it had buttons instead of analog triggers. And I bought an Xbox and a GameCube, and I thought, for me, that was perfect. Like, Ninja Gaiden was amazing. Far Cry Instincts was amazing on the Xbox. Project Gotham Racing 2 with Xbox Live, and that was the first game I played online multiplayer with voice chat, made friends. PlayStation 2 didn't offer anything that, for me, that I didn't already have. The Xbox had far superior visuals. The GameCube had the Nintendo franchise I love, and I thought I was set there. And PlayStation 2, I borrowed one from a friend to play Shadow of the Colossus, which I bought the game. Love that game, but I just didn't get into it. And PlayStation 3 was my first PlayStation system I ever owned, and that kind of left a bad taste. So that's just the way it ended up. You know, I love Nintendo from day one, and the Xbox had some great games. And for me, the PlayStation 2 was in third place, even though the sales were superior. It was the third best system out. I had the GameCube and the Xbox, and I thought I was set. So I've answered this question recently, but I'll answer it again. From Rel, what's your favorite Zelda game in the franchise? It's a moving target. I always seem to think the one I'm playing is the best one, but if I really had to answer and pick one, it's A Link to the Past. Just beat it recently on the Virtual Console on the Wii U. Got it for $1.50 because I had it on the Wii's, whatever that system, or the Virtual Console, but the you bought it off of the shop. I forget what it was called. So that one's just, it holds up. A Link Between Worlds on the 3DS has better controls, better visuals, better music. Use the same music but better quality. But it just doesn't have that lasting appeal. It was a little bit easy, and you know, Ocarina of Time was great. I have some fond memories of playing it around Christmas time. It took me like 2 months to beat it. The Water Temple, the challenge, it was amazing. But going back and playing that on the N64, it's unplayable because the aiming is inverted using the yellow camera buttons. It's that game, if it was put out on the Wii U Virtual Console or remastered with amazing controls, then I'd probably go back to that one. I think it had the most epic story, the most dungeons, quality dungeons, and it was a solid game. I mean, it didn't have any real bugs for how big it was at the time. The first time I saw Hyrule Field running on my TV, my jaw dropped, and it was just amazing. But I'm going to pick A Link to the Past. Wind Waker HD and Ocarina of Time are both right there. Good question. So last time I'm going to answer it, though. I'm just kidding. I've answered that question probably 5-6 times now doing these videos, and just Zelda and Mario, top franchises of all time out of all gaming. Mario seems to be more consistent for me. I enjoy those consistently, whereas some of the Zeldas, especially the handheld ones, like Majora's Mask, not a huge fan of that one. Twilight Princess was good. Skyward Sword was good, but the original Wind Waker kind of wasn't great. The HD version I think is amazing. So Paper Mario was N64 and GameCube. Okay, no, Mario RPG was a Super Nintendo one. Then I've never played Super Paper Mario on the N64 or the GameCube, and I didn't play the Wii one either, which came out. It was kind of weird. They kind of made that almost like a platformer, and came out like the first year the Wii was out, and then you got New Super Mario Bros. Wii and Super Mario Galaxy the next year. So never played one of those. I guess I could probably give one a chance someday. And my last question, if anyone, I see I got viewers, if there's anything else, this will be my last question if nothing else pops up. There are a lot of PS1 games that age well, like Tekken 3, Wipeout 3, Crash, Spyro, Tony Hawk. The 64 looks too blocky. I disagree. I mean, on the Virtual Console, the 64 games look amazing to me. But no, I completely disagree. I think the N64 games still hold up a lot better than PlayStation 1. But that's just my personal opinion. So we'll have to agree to disagree. Good question. I've mentioned this before, and it's hard to answer, but Raul asked, how does 3D World stack up to the other 3D Mario games in your opinion? It's right below the first Galaxy to me. I want to say that Galaxy's better, But honestly, just in raw fun factor, playing it over and over and over, 3D World's on the top for me. It's just fun. The levels are fun to play, except for like 3 or 4 of them, which I don't like. Um, Galaxy, I went through it, got 120 stars. Unlocked Luigi, went through it, got 118 stars with Luigi. But there are a couple times where you're upside down and you have to dodge things, and pressing to the left doesn't make you go left, and it doesn't know what to do. But the soundtrack, by far the best soundtrack for a Mario game. I like that it did something completely different. I thought Galaxy 2 was better than 1. I don't know if you agree. I think Galaxy 2 is far superior. It's just, a lot of people are like, oh, it's just Galaxy 1.5. It'd be DLC on another system if the Wii could do DLC. And it turned out to be a better game, better level design. The level picking, they kind of mixed the 2D Mario games, so you just kind of easily pick the level you wanted to do, and then it had the little 3D environment for your ship, unlike the first Galaxy, which you had to run all over to find the levels, and it got to be tedious. Like, oh, the purple star is appeared over a new galaxy, then you had to freaking find the thing. So Galaxy 2 definitely, I want to say number 1. 3D World right there. Even though I had a little bit more fun with 3D World, I think Galaxy 2 is just a better game. A little bit more challenging, the 3D environment, and I like the over the shoulder. But they're right there. 3D World and Galaxy 2 are almost tied for me, with Galaxy 1 being third. I actually have a video where I rank my all-time favorite Mario games. That was before 3D World came out. And I had New Super Mario Bros. U at number 3, I believe. So you should go watch that. About 8 minutes in, I do my countdown. I started out with a rant about, I forget, it was Adam Sessler or Rev3 Games or something. Go check out that video on YouTube where I rank my favorite Mario games. Well, actually, I rank them from 15 to 1, however many games there were at the time. And it's interesting because I put 3D Land pretty low. And I said, I'm not too keen on this game. I said, it's decent. But I said, I don't have high hopes for 3D World as much as I should, because I didn't think 3D Land was that amazing. But it turned out to be, I was way off. So interesting, though. I feel a lot of Nintendo fans have similar opinions. You putting Galaxy and 3D World right close together, that's where I put them. Blue Dog, favorite soundtrack of all time for a game. Wow. Wind Waker. The Wind Waker theme's amazing. The main Galaxy music, amazing. Metroid, Super Metroid had a great soundtrack. The new Mario Kart 8 has an amazing soundtrack, a bunch of different amazing tracks. I don't know if I could pick one just without thinking about it a little further. I thought Star Fox, the original on the Super Nintendo, had an amazing soundtrack. A lot of the Mario games do, a lot of the Zelda games do, but like, I can't really recite too many of the Zelda games other than the Wind Waker. They're the main theme. I mean, it's in my head right now. I'm playing in my head, so there's just so many good ones. And Donkey Kong Country. I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite. It's like picking I can't pick a favorite movie either, because I like so many different ones. Let's see. What's New World Order asks, what is the best combination of vehicle and racers in Mario Kart 8? I feel like I always do bad in the beginning because I picked the wrong combination. Like last week when I dropped and changed my vehicle, I did a lot better. I like the heavy characters with that F1 racing looking car. I know a lot of people use it. If you noticed, I used it this week and I won. Not to spoil that. I know people know because he raced in the tournament. I've been trying to just do cool and different like mixtures of karts and bikes and characters, just to keep it different and not use the same one all the time. But I've been getting third, fourth, fifth, whatever place I've been getting. I finally said, you know, I'm going to use the best combination, and that's Rosalina with that the F1 looking car. I wish I could look it up, but I think you can tell which one. It was the one I was using. I'm not going to use it next time because it's just so overused. A lot of people use Roy. Most people use Rosalina with it. My favorite character, though, just is Larry. I like the way he looks, the Koopaling Larry. I think he's awesome with the blue mohawk. Just a light character, though. You get bumped off the track a lot. But I should have used Donkey Kong. I used him the week before. I love Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I think it's the best 2D platformer, and I like Donkey Kong. I want to use him more, but I just said, screw it. I'm going to use the best combination for me. Slick tires overall I think is the best, but there's a couple tracks and time trials where slicks suck. But I would, if I was you, use, if it's going to be karts this week, I think I did the drawing. I don't want to spoil it, but you know, if it's karts, use that one. If it's bikes, the standard bike is the solid choice, unless you really master the sport bike. I'm getting close. I'm getting a lot better, but I want to use the sport bike every week because I love it. I love the way it looks. This is the normal sport bike, not the jet bike or anything. But I just know I'm not going to do as good with it. So, yeah, that's hopefully answers that. Use that cart that I mentioned, or if you don't know which one I'm talking about, go back and I'm going to upload some of those videos. We had some pretty close races, and I have yet to upload those from the tournament. So, Rel asks, how would you feel about Nintendo's next Wii U Mario game being a sequel to Mario Sunshine? I mean, I'd be fine with that. They're the same team that did Galaxy and 3D World. It was their first Mario game that they really did with that director and stuff. So they've learned a lot since then, and with the power of the Wii U, just looking at what Splatoon's doing with water physics or liquid physics, it could be awesome. I think I answered a question. Someone asked, would I rather see Sunshine 2, Galaxy 3, or 3D World 2? And I believe I said, what did I say? I said I'd rather see, for me, I'd rather play 3D World 2, but I don't want to see the same game again, even though they could get it out quicker probably. I said Galaxy 3 would probably be my choice. But Sunshine, a sequel to Sunshine, improve the controls and you know, get rid of that huge hub world. I would be fine with it, but I guess that's a 3D game. Yeah, I would be fine with that. Galaxy 3 or Super Mario Universe, you know, do mixture. You don't have to just have it, you know, one game type. I would like to see like a Galaxy-like game with some Sunshine World, maybe a Sunshine World thrown there, 3D World style levels. Mix it all together. I mean, I don't know. I trust what they're gonna do, though. Whatever they do, I'll buy it day one. I'll tell you that right now. If that makes me a fanboy, then I'm proud to be a fanboy. Mario Walker. Okay, but some PS1 games that came out in 99, 2000 look almost like PS2 games. I can't verify that. I didn't own the system, and I moved on. Looking forward to the GameCube by the time 2000 came around. So you might be right. Just like the PS2, the God of War 2 looked like it could have been on the PS3. So you're probably right. But I can't verify that. I wouldn't even know what games came out in that time period. I just know that on the Virtual Console, the N64 games look amazing. They must be, maybe because they're up-resed, but I think they look great. I don't think a PlayStation 1 game would look as good, but I don't know. The PS3 up-resed PS2 games, and it did a pretty good job. So I'm open to be proven wrong. So I'll take your word on it. And New World Order says, I think I always do bad in Mario Kart 8 because I choose the wrong vehicle. How do you know which vehicle class to choose? Like I just told you, the vehicles and characters I like, I do bad with. So I finally said screw it, and picked the one I know is good. I know I do better with a kart than I do with the sport bike, and I know Rosalina's a solid character, so I picked her. And there was like 3 or 4 people as Rosalina. It hurt my soul a little bit. I hate, just like Steel Fox, we're the same way. We don't like to choose characters everyone else is choosing. So I just said screw it, and I got first, so it worked. So next week you'll see something different, though. Guarantee it. This is a good question, and actually I forgot about this. So, Blue Dog, are you ever going to upload your reaction video to the digital event? You said direct, but it was the event. I forgot about that, so maybe I'll have to think about it. Some of it's a little embarrassing to watch because I got so giddy at times. It's a little hard for me to watch myself. So maybe I'll upload it as unlisted, and then just people that are you know, that I race with and that I've gotten to know a little bit, you know, I'll let you guys watch it. But I kind of want to go back and rewatch it myself. Just I watched a little bit of it the next day, and I was like, oh my god, it looks stupid. So what Donkey Kong games are better, rares or retros? Retros. I didn't have to think about it. Returns and Tropical Freeze, Crush, anything Rare did, even though they were building upon what Rare did. I played Donkey Kong Country 2. I downloaded it on the Virtual Console, and it was just ridiculously hard. And it was hard to get lives, and I got stuck with it. There's a level where it was a difficult minecart that took forever, and then there was a stupid level where you're flying on a bird, and there's all these spikes and bees, and the hit detection was so sensitive. I could never get past it, never get to the next save point, and I gave up on it. So, but the first one I beat in the same day that I bought it on the Super Nintendo. I rode my bike to the store. It came out on my birthday, November 21st. Let's see, was it 97, 98? I think it was 97. Maybe it was 98. So it came out on my birthday, and I bought it and beat it that same night. So I think retros are amazing, though. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, I said it 100 times. I'm going to say it again. Best 2D platformer ever made. So that tells you something. Sorry, New World Order. You kind of asked the same question in a different way, but it's fine. Mario Walker, you're going to do another live stream with Francis. Well, it's not like completely up to me. Francis joined me on my Mario Kart 8 impressions video about, I think, the weekend after it came out. I'm doing a vidcast with him on Sunday. I think it's going to be live. I don't know if he's going to record it or do it live. So if it's live, then yes. But it's going to be podcast style, no cameras on, I believe. But I don't know if he's just going to do it live or record it and upload it later. So that's happening at 3, but it's on Google Plus, so it is live, now that I'm thinking about it. So 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Time, doing Francis's vidcast with his PE partners, Ms. T, I believe, Zen Gamer, Jamie Butterworthy, and I don't really feel worthy to join those guys. They're awesome. Some of my favorite YouTubers. So it's going to be a treat for me. Hopefully I can add to the conversation. And that, but I got somebody at my house, so you guys got more questions, but I got to go answer the door. So I'm going to end this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next video.